All right, so I asked ChatGPT to generate a one-shot Starfinder RPG adventure, and it's producing this in real time as I'm recording this video. I am really intrigued by this because I saw that like Ubisoft was contemplating or talking about using ChatGPT and AI to produce rough drafts of quest dialogue, which then get turned over to a narrative director or a writing team to then create, the final whatever it is dialogue they're going to be using for a game. And that got me down this rabbit hole of coming on to ChatGPT today and plugging in like story prompts and YouTube script prompts. And I'm going to say that overall, the the things that I have gotten back have been fairly generic, but every single one of them have been good enough to use as the basis for something that I could then take and refine down. So anyone who's ever done anything creative realizes the draft process. You come up with an idea, you take a rough draft, you then refine it, refine it, refine it, refine it, refine it, throw things away, add things in, refine it, refine it, refine it until you get something that's polished. And if you're in a writing room, you're going to be doing this with a lot of other people at a table. Essentially, ChatGPT can kind of replicate, not entirely, but it can somewhat replicate the idea of a writer's room and give you these writing prompts, give you these rough drafts based off of tiny little snippets of an idea. Because literally all I told it was generate a one-shot Starfinder RPG adventure. This is what it gave me. Title: The Lost Artifact of the Vesk Empire. Background: The players receive a mysterious message from a collector of ancient Vesk artifacts who claims to have discovered the location of a lost relic from the Vesk Empire. The collector offers a substantial reward for the players' help in retrieving the artifact from a dangerous planet on the outskirts of the Pact Worlds. Objective: The players must navigate a treacherous jungle planet and locate the lost artifact of the Vesk Empire before a group of rival treasure hunters beat them to it. The artifact is said to hold immense power and could potentially alter the balance of power in the galaxy. Setup: The players arrive on the jungle planet and begin their search for the artifact. The planet is teeming with dangerous wildlife and hostile rival factions who are also searching for the artifact. The players must navigate through the jungle and overcome various obstacles, such as treacherous terrain, booby-trapped ruins, and vicious creatures. Encounters: The players come across a group of rival treasure hunters who are also searching for the artifact. The treasure hunters are heavily armed and will attack the players on sight. The players must defeat the treasure hunters and obtain any information they may have about the location of the artifact. Encounter number 2. The players come across a group of friendly locals who offer them help to navigate the treacherous jungle. The locals are able to provide the players with useful information about the location of the artifact and offer to guide them through the jungle. And number 3. The players come across a series of ruins that are heavily guarded by automated defense systems. The players must find a way to disable the defenses and navigate through the ruins to reach the artifact. Conclusion: After overcoming various obstacles and defeating rival treasure hunters, the players finally locate the lost artifact of the Vesk Empire. However, they soon discover that the artifact is cursed and has the power to corrupt those who possess it. The players must decide whether to keep the artifact and risk its corrupting influence or destroy it and forfeit the award. Now, that is extremely generic. That is literally just an outline with story beats. But it's good enough that if I wanted to, I could take that to create a homebrew Starfinder campaign, right? And I could take that and flesh it out. Now, I asked it to do a one shot. So it literally just created something that can be played in one single night. So if I wanted to take this, I would need to come up with the actual encounters for the treasure hunters. I would need to flesh these details out a little bit more to get something that's actually playable. But I would say 75% of the work has already been done in terms of coming up with an idea and the encounters and everything else, and then I just polish it from here. But I would also argue that this has given a good basis for an actual campaign module, which can be set entirely on the planet, and then you can flesh this out to be an adventure that is for levels 1 to 4 or 1 to 3 or whatever you want it to be, and you could actually create this adventure path homebrew campaign for your players based off of this prompt. Just based off of this prompt. I Again, guys, I haven't gotten into ChatGPT, and I know there's a lot of discussion. I know Paizo in particular has come out, very aggressively anti AI art and AI anything. And you see places like Clark's World, which are very upset about people submitting AI ChatGPT written stories. And I know a lot of people are like, it's not really art if the AI is writing it, but I think there's a distinction here. I would never take this and simply produce it and call it my own. What I would do, and what I'm definitely considering doing, because I've been playing with ChatGPT today and having it create YouTube scripts. So I've been giving it ideas for like, if I wanted to do this video, what would you tell me? What would be a script idea? And I've asked it to write several scripts for me. And it not only gives me scripts, but it also gives me what types of images I should use as overlays on top of the script to create a video about whatever the subject is. It's pretty wild. I've given it some short story prompts based on things that I have jotted down in my notebooks. And, I have an idea of where that story would need to go, but then I've plugged in the prompt and I've seen ideas that are a little bit beyond what I had originally written down, and I went, "Oh, that's actually a really good idea," and I've taken that and jotted it down in my notes. So what I see here is the power of creating a rough idea. This is the writer's room for me. I take an idea, I take a prompt, I throw it into ChatGPT. It spits out a generic concept. I look at that concept and say, I kind of like that. Or maybe I don't like it and I ask it to regenerate a response. But I could also just take the things that I like from this and plug it into whatever I'm going to be working on and then go off and write that. This allows me to quickly and easily get the rough draft idea stuff out of the way, sort of like the writer's room churning out ideas for scripts and then taking those and refining those down. I'm extremely intrigued by this. Um, I, let's. I'm coming up with something off the top of my head. New chat. Let's say I want to do short story based on. How about I say that? I'm going to say, write me a short story about a. I don't know, a necromancer in the Dragonlance setting, right? Now let's see. Deep within the twisted labyrinth of the Tower of High Sorcery in Palanthus, a lone figure could be seen moving with purpose. His name was Kalar, and he was a necromancer, a master of the dark arts of death magic. Kalar had come to the tower seeking knowledge, but he found it lacking. He had heard tales of a powerful spell that could raise the dead and bind them to his will, but no one in the tower knew of such a thing. Frustrated and determined, Kalar set out on a journey to find the knowledge he sought. So if you read through this, it's literally just giving me story beats. It's not actually writing a full short story with dialogue and everything else. It's giving me an outline with story beats, which I could then pull apart and say, well, I like this. I don't like that. That's a little generic. This might work. What if I did this? So if I had an idea in my head for a necromancer short story set in the world of Dragonlance, I could plug this into ChatGPT, let it create the, outline with story beats based on my prompt and choose to take things from there and run with it. Or I could tell it to generate a different response. And it's going to give me something different. In the land of Kryn, there lived a powerful necromancer named Zarathos. He was feared by all who knew him, for he had the ability to raise the dead and bend them to his will. Uh, his thirst for power knew no bounds. More power, more control over the dead. He began to delve into forbidden magic, summoning demons. The people of Kryn lived in terror of Zarathos. Oh my god. He was not, however, easily defeated. So it's very generic. Very, very, very generic. But it gives you ideas for things that you could spin out from here. I am extremely intrigued by this, everybody. I'm definitely going to be using this to some degree throughout the rest of this year. For sure for my YouTube scripts because it's giving me some ideas. But I like the idea of having this as a tool for creating one-shot adventures for the Weave in the Void, and just coming up with ideas that I can then take and extrapolate out into one-shots that we can sell on the Patreon page. Food for thought. Anyway, love to hear your thoughts. Drop them down in the comments below. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, support if you can, membership, super chat, super stickers, Patreon page, all the good things. Until next time, everybody, stay safe. Happy gaming.